Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is March 4th, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. There's the state of Hawaii to the bottom left. There's the state of California. Next system up is right here, and this one's going to pack a punch, especially for some of Southern California. Some of the models have been uptrending here on the precipitation amounts, some mountain snow, some gusty winds. Nice round of snowfall here for the Sierra Nevada, and we have additional storm systems, multiple additional storm systems as we go through the upcoming period. I'm going to show you that and the weather models here in a moment. But if you want a nice affordable home weather station, it looks nice, it's easy to set up, it'll be up and running in minutes. It'll tell you when it starts raining at your house. Help support the channel, click on the link down below to save 10% off. Now taking a look at Los Angeles National Weather Service, you see how the wording is starting to change a little bit here. 10 to 20% chance of significant flooding and burn scar debris flows. Stay tuned. Potential for thunderstorms. They even mention the brief and weak tornado possibilities. Some pretty chilly air aloft can be dropping down across the region. Some small hail. And of course, if you lived across Southern California for any length of time like I did for a little bit, you know how crazy it gets when you bring any kind of amount of rainfall down across some of the interstates. So taking a look here, we got winter storm watches in the blue down here across the transverse range. More on that here in a moment. But this winter weather starts Tuesday night through Thursday. And you can see they updated this morning. The winter storm watches, heavy snow is possible. 6 to 12 inches above 5,500 feet. 18 to 24 inches above 7,000 feet, gusty winds to 50 miles per hour, and again Wednesday evening through Friday morning. Now, we got some snow across the Sierra Nevada here as well coming up. We got winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings are in effect. You can see the snowfall amounts over here, 3 to 7 inches below, between 5 and 6,000 feet, 10 to 16 above 6,000 feet. Highest totals generally south of Interstate 80, but I-80 is going to be impacted. There's going to be chain controls, travel delays, and road closures at times. And this one is from 4 p.m. Wednesday, tomorrow morning through 4 p.m. on Thursday. Now, also taking a look at some totals there. Donner Peak, you're talking about 6 to 8. There's Blue Canyon, 6 to 8. And again, there can be some moderate impacts out there. And you can see the snow levels 4,500 feet, dropping to 3,500 feet potentially as we go on into Thursday. And same thing down here for Las Vegas. We got some winter weather across the higher terrain. I worked there at Tonopah, which is about 6,000 feet elevation. I was doing National Weather Service work at the airport there, right next to Area 51. Pretty interesting experience. Reno National Weather Service talking about the storm system Wednesday, Thursday as well. East slopes of the Sierra Nevada out there, 6 to 12, above 7, 2 to 6 below 7,000 feet there. So yeah, heads up for that. Here we go. Another storm rolling in here, and we got more to go after that. Now, looking at that, what we're looking at here is 500 millibar heights, 18,000 feet, and those are the black lines there. That's what I usually show ridges in trough position, but I've also got the cyclonic relative vorticity showing as well. So this is the next system that we saw in the mid-level water vapor loop approaching the coastline, and you can see that one's going to bring one round with it, and then it's going to bring another round as that very cold air aloft moves down across the region, and that's when there's going to be that thunderstorm threat and maybe brief weak tornado threat, some mountain snows across Southern California, and then that system will swing through as we go through on the day Saturday. Then the next system up comes in as we go through probably Monday morning, and another dynamic storm all the way down through Southern California there, and we don't get much of a break, and the next storm is hot on its heels as we go through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and then we get a bit of a break, but then maybe something else way off into Fantasyland. But you saw we have several storms to go, and if we take a look at what drives these storms, this is basically a 10,000 foot look at the atmosphere, 700 millibar temperature. So what powers these storms is the difference in temperature gradient between the equator and the poles. So you can see this cold air to the north and the warmer air to the south. And so when you drop these big lobes of cold air, you increase that gradient between that warm and cold air, and that's what drives these storm systems there. And then you bring that cold air aloft across the region, you bring thunderstorm potential and maybe some flooding for some areas. The next storm system would be there, and then look at that one as we go on in through next week. Deep trough setting up with some very cold air aloft, powerful frontal system driving through California with that one. Then we get a little bit of a break. You see the ridge right there, but then the next system may be off into the extended forecast. We'll see how that trends. Now, if we take a look at 6-hour precipitation type, and where mean sea level pressure is now in the black lines, put that into motion. There goes our system. And this is yesterday afternoon's European run, and the 060 was actually bumped up some of these totals a bit more. But you see a nice round of snowfall, like we had mentioned, for the Sierra Nevada. You see the rainfall flying for Southern California. The very cold air aloft moves across the region. This is when the snow would be flying for the higher terrain of Southern California, probably at some point on the day, Thursday night into Friday morning. And again, some decent precipitation amounts showing up with that frontal system passage. And get a little bit of a break this weekend, but the next storm system will be knocking on the door Sunday night, and we go into Monday morning. Another strong frontal system all the way down the state of California, and then yet another one. And this one might be the most dynamic of them all as we look off towards next Wednesday and Thursday. Look at that frontal system. Huge mountain snows, gusty winds, big wave action will be coming in with that one. And of course, flooding potential, and then showers in the wake of that as we go through next week, and then maybe something off through the future. We'll worry about that later. But now looking at lightning flash density potential. So as we go through, there's Wednesday afternoon. You see, start to introduce some of that thunderstorm threat across the Sacramento Valley up towards Northern California. And then we go on through Thursday afternoon. There we go. We start to bring that a little bit further south. And there goes Friday afternoon as well, Southern California, some of the deserts, Arizona, maybe back up towards Las Vegas. We're going to have a thunderstorm threat as well. So total precipitation in inches. So let's take a look at last night's run. This is the 0Z run. And if we scroll through here, there goes shot number 2 as we go through Thursday afternoon. The cold air aloft arrives. And we start to bump up these amounts across Southern California. But then watch the next system roll in there. Look at that nice shot of rainfall. Another one hot on its heels as well. So we're looking at some pretty good totals showing up as we go through the 10-day forecast coming up for much of the state of California. Not much has changed on that front. And if we look at most recent 24-hour snow here, running total, you can see some of the nice amounts across Southern California, higher terrain, Sierra Nevada getting a big shot of snowfall there as well. And this one goes out about 144 hours. I don't think it picks up the next storm too much. It does not. The next storm is arriving quickly after that. And also big wave action potentially on the coast at times as well. Here we go through later this week. You see the bump in waves up and down much of the state. And then we get a little bit of a break this weekend. And then we get another shot of some wave action rolling in as we go through early next week with multiple storm systems off the shoreline shown there. 2 meter temperature here. I'm going to update this and make sure we have the most recent information. This would be for today. There's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We bump up a little bit this weekend, Sunday, before the next storm system arrives. And we go Monday, we start to cool things down. Tuesday, even a little bit more. Wednesday, that storm system will be with us. And then maybe another frontal system, a potent one. You can see these temperatures dropping off across the backcountry. And I mean, not even the desert areas are not even that warm underneath this scenario as well. Look at this, some 50s and maybe getting up towards 60 for some of Southern California, but definitely cooling off with that next round of storms through next week. Again, some of those could be potent frontal systems moving across the area. And the 6 to 10 day above average precipitation, great look, below normal temperature and above a normal precipitation in the 8 to 14 day through March 17th, and the below normal signal here for much of the west coast. Now also taking a look back to when the water year starts is officially October 1st. Look at these temperatures. I mean, the vast majority of the state of California, except maybe the coastal regions of Southern California and Northwest California, have been below normal, and much of the west has been above normal during this La Nina winter. Kind of an interesting look here since we just, we're going through La Nina here, especially for the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, big signal here across the Southwest for above normal temperatures. And this is percent of average precipitation since the water year started. Of course, you've got above average across Northern California, but some pretty big deficits we have been running here for Southern California. See, Los Angeles County between 25 and 50%. And some areas across, the deserts of California and Southwest Arizona have been extremely dry. So anyway, I will kick this out here. Lots of fun stuff to watch over the next few days. We will break it all down again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.